I couldn't ask for anything better at this point. I just really, really hope this is it. So please, please, please pray and send positive thoughts our way that this is going to be the cycle, that we're not going to have to go through a bunch of cycles and put my body through everything that it's going to have to go through, even just on one cycle, because, you know, you're messing with your hormones. And so I don't want to do that too many times if I can help it. So anyways, that is what happened at the appointment, and I cannot wait to keep you guys updated as the process goes on. Hey guys, okay, so I had my doctor's appointment with my reproductive endocrinologist yesterday, and I was going to record for you right after the appointment, but I didn't have my hair done or makeup or anything, and this morning I got up early and put some makeup on just for you guys so I could record this video and feel refreshed. Overall, the appointment was really, really great. There was a couple things that I wasn't 100% sure about, or like I didn't agree with, but by the end of the appointment, the doctor and I had worked it out, and I am on board 100% with the plan for now. So when I first got there, they had told me that I was overdue. Oh, by the way, this might be a TMI video. If you are not interested in following the trying to conceive journey, then you probably might not want to watch this video, because it's going to be all about that. But I will talk about some TMI stuff, so if that bothers you, this is your warning now. Okay, so when I first got there, they told me that I was behind, I was overdue for my pap smear, so did I want to just go ahead and take care of that while I was in there? So I said, sure, why not? So we went ahead and did my pap smear, and something interesting did definitely happen during my pap smear. First of all, I've had them done several times, and I've never really had this much like discomfort, and I was very weird. Like, I was actually like in pain, and I told the doctor, I was like, wow, that's hurting a lot. And just like from the instrument they use to do it, that was what was bothering me, not the actual, when she did the test, that wasn't the problem. And so I told her, wow, this is really hurting me a lot. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna stop then, and then we'll try again. So I was like, okay. So then she stopped, and she said that she noticed that I had a polyp on my cervix. And I've never had a polyp on my cervix. I've had many pap smears done before, and nothing's ever been seen. So before she went to go do it again, she said, she asked me, like, would I be comfortable? She was hoping that I'd be able to tolerate her removing the polyp so that they could send it to the lab. And how did I feel about that? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I wasn't in pain because of you trying to do the test. I was in pain because of the instrument that you use to see in there. So she was like, okay. So she did it again, and the second time wasn't nearly as painful, so I don't know what was up, but she did it again, and she removed the polyp, which didn't feel like anything. It just felt like she was doing the test, like doing the little swab where you can kind of tell she's doing something, but you don't know really what. That's what she was doing. That's what it felt like. So that was no big deal. They did show me the polyp, which was interesting, and they sent it off to the lab. So I am a little bit nervous about that, just because, you know, they say that most of the time polyps are non-cancerous and they just form from an increase in estrogen in your body, but it's not necessarily something that you have to worry about for cancer. But because I do have so much history of cancer on my mom's side of the family, it does worry me. So I will just be relieved when I see the test results come back from that, saying that it's just a benign polyp and there's no concerns of cancer. So please keep me, oh my gosh, I don't know why sometimes I can't speak properly. So please keep me in your prayers and thoughts on that, so, because I am having a little bit of anxiety about it, but I feel like if she was really concerned, she would have said something and we wouldn't have moved forward with a plan for trying to get pregnant. So she didn't even blink an eye at it. It was like no big deal. I see this all the time. It was kind of like that was her attitude about it. So I'm not stressing too much, but it will just be nice to know that everything's good to go on that. So yeah, so she did the pap smear, removed the polyp, and then right after that we went ahead and did the internal ultrasound, which I believe is called a transvaginal ultrasound. Which just means that it's inside the vagina. So they put this like wand thing in there, and it has the ultrasound tool on the end of it, and then they can see your uterus and your ovaries. And while I'm stopped at a light, I can show you. I got little sonogram pictures of my left and right ovary and a picture of my uterus. She said that my uterine lining looked really good, even though I was on like cycle day 160 something. She said that it looked really healthy and good, so that was nice. And then she said that my ovaries still looked like classic textbook polycystic ovaries. So my diagnosis remains as polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so then after that, she just stopped doing that, and then I just kind of sat up on the table and we talked about all the details of what would a cycle look like, and we talked a lot about my history, and I told her all about how I have tried Femara unmonitored without the supervision of a doctor, and I told her all the dosages and the days that I took it and what the results were, and she knows that I temp and I use OPKs, so she totally gets that I'm in the loop with what's going on here and what the process is for all of this. So she said that she would ask me about me going on metformin, and she asked if I was still taking it because she had put me on it 2 years ago, and I said no. After about 8 months, I just couldn't handle the stomach pains anymore, and I was in so much discomfort all of the time. Anytime I ate anything, it seemed like I would get horrible stomach cramps and feel awful. And so she was like, well, seeing as you've given it a try twice, because that was the second time I had tried it with her, and she said, I'm not going to make you take it again, but so she's like, I'm not going to make you take it again. So, and I told her, I said, if you really think that that's going to be what I need to do, I'm totally willing. I just couldn't take it anymore when it wasn't regulating my cycles. I wasn't seeing any relief from any of the other PCOS symptoms, and I wasn't ovulating. So she said, that's fine, don't worry about it. So that was good, because I really was hoping to not go back on metformin. So no more metformin for now. That's awesome. The next thing we talked about was what type of a cycle, medicated cycle we wanted to do. And she said we're going to do a Clomid cycle, and I'm going to go ahead and start you at the 100 milligram, which is really great also because most of the time they start you at the lowest dose, the 50 milligram. And she said, but based on what I had shared with her about my experience with the Femara, she felt totally comfortable, since I didn't really have a response to the Femara at all 3 dosage levels that you take with Femara. She said she was comfortable starting me at the 100 milligram. So that was really nice. So I will be doing Clomid 100 milligrams this first cycle. Then she talked about how before we even talked about what kind of cycle we were going to do, she wanted me to schedule an appointment to do the HSG test, which is the one where they put fluid through it. They use a catheter and they go in through your cervix into your uterus, and they put fluid in there, and then they watch on the ultrasound machine to see if the fluid can pass through your fallopian tubes to make sure that those are clear. Well, I told her I was really not wanting to do that procedure if I didn't have to, and that the last time I was in there 2 years ago, we discussed it, and it was an optional procedure at first. So I could do a couple cycles without it, and then if I wasn't getting anywhere with those cycles, medicated cycles, then I would do it. So she agreed that yes, that would be fine. So she, for now, she has prescribed 2 cycles of Clomid, and if I don't get pregnant on those 2 cycles, then she's going to want me to do the HSG test, and then she also wants Rob to redo a semen analysis and get some blood work done. So that is that's the plan as far as the Clomid goes. Then I told her, hey, how would you feel about me using the trigger injection? I was really hoping to do the trigger shot because my mom, who also has PCOS, needed the Clomid paired with the trigger shot to get pregnant with her 3 children. So she said that back in the day when my mom was doing infertility treatments, that they did do the trigger shot with timed intercourse, but now they mostly only use trigger shots when you're going to do an IUI, which is a intrauterine inception. So that's where they go in, they take the semen from your husband, and then they go in the office and put it inside of the uterus so that it bypasses having to go through all the other lady parts. Well, I said, well, is it possible to do it like my mom did before and just try it that way and see? And she said, if you want to do it that way, I'm okay with that. So I was like, yes, another victory. Okay, so anyways, she approved the trigger shot. I was really, really excited because I felt like that was another victory there inside of the office, and it was just really great. So my husband couldn't make it to the appointment, so it was just me. But then what did we talk about? So then she went through what the cycle is going to look like, and most of you that are familiar with trying to conceive or have done medicated cycles kind of know what the drill is, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to share with you the schedule of events that are going to occur over the next month or so. Okay, so I'm starting Provera. I just started it last night to induce my cycle to come because I don't get my cycle on my own typically. So I will take this Provera for 10 days at 10 milligrams per day. So I've decided to take the Provera in the evening. That way I can sleep through any symptoms and side effects of the medication, and hopefully it won't affect my work. Then, sorry, out of breath. I think I need to turn down my heat. Okay, so I'll do the Provera for 10 days, 10 milligrams. Then when my cycle starts, I call the office and make an appointment for an ultrasound to be done between cycle day 1 and cycle day 5 for a baseline ultrasound. Then, on cycle day 3, I go into the lab and get my blood work done, and that way the doctor can see, make sure there's no reasons for why I can't do the Clomid. So I do that on cycle day 3. Then the doctor will give me the okay to go ahead and start the Clomid, and I will be taking the 100 milligrams of Clomid on cycle days 5 through 9. And then sometime between cycle day 12 and cycle day 14, I go back for a mid-cycle ultrasound, and that's when they will tell me when to do the trigger shot. So the trigger shot could happen anywhere between, I guess, cycle day 12 probably through cycle day 17, but chances are they'll tell me to do it around 15 or 16, I'm guessing, cycle day 15 or 16. So then I'll do the trigger shot, which you do at home in the evening, and then she said that you're supposed to baby dance, which is have intercourse, on the day of the trigger shot and then the 2 days following. So my plan is to try to have a regular routine of intercourse from the time that my period stops until the trigger shot, just a couple times a week. And then when it comes time for the trigger shot, we'll do those 3 days in a row. So the day of the trigger and the 2 days following. Then we go in 7 days after the trigger injection, and we take I go in for a blood work and I get my progesterone checked to confirm that I did ovulate. And then after that, we wait until 14 days after the trigger shot and I take a pregnancy test. So if all works out, I was looking at the calendar, I should be taking a pregnancy test around December 17th-ish. I don't know for sure, but it'll be around there. And I am really excited. I've always dreamed of being able to do a Christmas pregnancy announcement, and I feel really, really positive about this, and I know I've said that before in other videos, but I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer and then end up that being the cycle that I was pregnant, because I want to remember being happy and excited and positive about everything for the cycle that I end up pregnant. So here I am, finally doing my first medicated cycle with a doctor's supervision, with Clomid. She agreed to start me at the middle dosage. She agreed to do the trigger shot with timed intercourse. She agreed to do 2 cycles before requiring me to do the HSG test and before requiring my husband to do another semen analysis. So in the very, very end, even though I had to kind of chat with her back and forth a little bit about some of my concerns or my wants and desires, everything in the end turned out exactly how I had hoped. So I couldn't ask for anything better at this point. I just really, really hope this is it. So please, please, please pray and send positive thoughts our way that this is going to be the cycle, that we're not going to have to go through a bunch of cycles and put my body through everything that it's going to have to go through, even just on one cycle, because, you know, you're messing with your hormones. And so I don't want to do that too many times if I can help it. So anyways, that is what happened at the appointment, and I cannot wait to keep you guys updated as the process goes on. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please thumbs it up and subscribe to the channel. I will be posting more videos like this and other types of videos as frequently as I can, at least once a week. Alright, thanks guys, bye.